Yeah, you know what time it is? It's all the celebrations taking place as we say bye-bye 2022 and say hello to 2023. Now, you count down the end of the year with a delicious butter board. That's what you do, yes, and you top it with Mediterranean flavors. Then you follow all of that up by adding, you know, some other things filled with like a spread of goodness. I'm seeing cheese, I'm seeing meats, I'm seeing fresh fruit, I'm seeing nuts. I'm thinking so much more.
Say the word, just say it.
The sassiness that's coming through today.
The word is everything.
I want you to say that word.
No, you say that. You say the word.
South African Tabitha is talking about a butter board and a
cheese board.
charcuterie board.
There we go. Oh, charcuterie. I thought charcuterie, caricature. Hey, I'm like, what? But what is a charcuterie?
Friend, I think the main difference between a cheese board and a charcuterie board is that the charcuterie board focuses mainly on the cold meats, right? So the cold meats are like the highlight, whereas the cheese board, you tend to find your cheeses and your jams and your crackers and stuff like that. But for me now, I like to interchange because I love to add a lot of cold meats into my cheese board and I like to add a lot of cheese into my... So it's all about how you like it.
Absolutely, but both are also very, very sophisticated, almost really equally sophisticated, right, Jay?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we've answered the question because we just like flipped it on its head, but that's exactly what it is. It's about really incorporating the best of cheeses, cold meats, having a spread, and I think entertainment is all about having little bits and bobs for everyone to select. So you've got a couple of different cheeses, so there will be a cheese that will appeal to every guest.
Yeah, that's right. Or if you have a guest like me, all of the cheeses will appeal to that guest. Okay, so a butter board, that's a new one for me. You see, the cheese board is a familiar concept, and I've had many of those. But this, what you're making here, my friend, what's the inspiration? What are the origins?
Well, you know, this took over social media like a storm.
Really?
And it's still like very on trend at the moment. Butter boards, I've seen people do buttercream boards where they use buttercream with pieces of cake, sweet treats. So this, again, is a nice way of sort of having your butter, having your bits and bobs, and then covering either a slice of toast or a cracker with all the different toppings.
Great, let's make it, Jay. I know how to eat this one, you see, because I've been here before. This is a place that's very familiar for me. That one we're going to have to figure out a bit later on. But let's talk about a cheese board, Dumi. It's all in the aesthetic of it, right?
Definitely. It's all about the aesthetics. It's all about what it looks like. The one thing I like to do is I like to overcrowd my board. I know most people want to leave space.
I'm not complaining about that. Overcrowd it as much as you want, Dooms.
Because not only does it allow you to see the different ingredients that you have, but it also allows you to pack on a lot more in terms of give people a lot more options. If you just look at this one, before I start compiling this one here, you've got your jams in there. You've got sweetness coming from fresh fruits, which is your grapes as well. You've got some tartness that's from your berries, and then you've got your saltiness coming from your cold meats. It literally is about hitting all those flavor combinations, your sweet, sour, salty, bitter in one platter, and then also giving texture. I mean, now look, I'm always happy with the cheese board.
You've given us everything here, Dooms. You've given us texture, yes. You've given us color, lots of color. You want to make sure that you get those seasonal fruits in as well. And like you said, anyone and everyone will have something that appeals to them there. How do you decide what fruits go onto this? Because the thing is, a board like this will sit, let's say, on an afternoon out when it's warm. That becomes a defining factor, right?
True, I get what you're saying, and I'm glad you asked that because I was going to mention stuff like using seasonal fruits. Like, for instance, I love adding watermelons to my a cheese board or charcuterie board at this time of the year because it's such a refreshing bite on a cheese board, Robbo. What you do is I like to keep my fruits in the fridge. Another trick I like to add is I like to freeze my grapes. So you take the grapes as they are, freeze them. It's such a refreshing bite when you actually bite into that, Robbo.
Because agekho umuntu ofuna ama-grapes aswabile.
Agekho.
Jay.
Yes, go.
Okay, so you are bringing something really interesting here. What is the trick here? Because over there we're seeing sweet and savory coming together. And here?
Pretty much similar sort of vibes. Also, we've got again some fig preserve. We've got some pesto. I've added the pesto on. We've got roasted cherry tomatoes. We've got some olives here that I'm going to put on pitted olives. Again, this just makes it easier to eat. So try and get things that are sort of easier to eat. No pips. Nothing like that. So some of those olives. there's that saltiness coming through.
It does have nuts, please.
Nuts.
And go nuts with those
So
nuts.
we've got a combination of nuts again. We're
That's
looking
it.
for we're looking for texture, and then again we've got some blue cheese. So we're also going with some cheese. Now this kind of looks like a pizza at the moment.
I know,
right?
but like it's also a pizza with a butter base.
Okay,
so how do you eat something like
so
this?
grab a cracker, Tubbs. Okay, so I'm going to take my favorite cracker, also great with,
I see what we're
with
doing.
the bread. And then what you're going to do is just scoop everything on.
Can you imagine this over a nice conversation with those people that you love and you haven't seen for a long time?
With a glass of wine.
A glass off, like make a cocktail. We're going to be showing you how to make some really interesting ones as well. And daiquiris in hand, and then you go, oh, yeah, no, Jade, you know, I really have liked seeing you prosper this year. It's been wonderful. Hey?
And you know what another cool trick is? If you're entertaining people this festive season, get individual boards and get everyone to make their own. Have the ingredients right there and make it a build-a-board situation. It's such an entertaining thing to do, and then it becomes a talking point throughout the night that you added these flavors. I see you like that. Yeah, look at that. That's exactly the kind of reaction you want from your guests.
A talking point that'll have people not even talking because they're going to be eating the whole time, but also I think a centerpiece as well. This adds to a table and it makes it look so beautiful. Okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to be doing to cross over into the new year. Put it here, my tunes.
Yes, my darling.
Our award winner. JJ, well done, guys. You have certainly inspired all of us to go out there and create something interesting, right? Go on to afternoonexpress.co.za and get your hands on the recipe. But, Palesa, I'm feeling something like a vibe. What's happening?